whatever size you are, whatever path you're on. So that's the mission, to help people to be able to do that without having any outside hindrances or perception concentrated in the city. I just want to make sure we keep it in Detroit for right now.
Take the class. It's an 8-hour course. It'll tell you everything that the state of Michigan absolutely, positively wants you to know before you start carrying around this loaded firearm on your person, in your car, in your purse, or within arm's length. Even when you know, everywhere that you can legally go. That's what that concealed pistol license is going to do for you. So once you take the class, it's really simple. You take your training certificate along with a completed application, you take it to your county clerks in the county in which you reside. Now, if you live in Wayne County, which is where we are today, it's that you concealed pistol license. The question was, how long is the license good for? The license is good for 5 years. 5 years. It's even better than a driver's license, right? A driver's license, 5 years, we're talking $21 a year on average to have the legal authorization to carry a concealed pistol on or about your person. And I tell you, for me personally, it's a great peace of mind thing to have. You know, if you were going to commit a crime, you don't go out and attack a woman or assault children, heaven forbid, walk up in a church, rob a church. Who robs a church? The state is basically letting people go early, paroling people early. These folks are going back home. And home for a lot of these folks is Detroit, it's Pontiac, it's Flint. You know, all the places where they committed those offenses before. We have shrinking public safety dollars. Right? If you live in the city of Detroit, you know that all we're talking about now is this agreement that we have. Allison will tell you all what you need to reach your dreams as a plus model. We're doing Plus Modeling 101 with Allison McGellman. Let's give Allison a huge hand.
You don't really know who you should talk to, where you should go, and you really have to do your research because it is an industry that is, you know, very structured in a lot of ways. So I'd say the first place to start, where I started, I've been modeling now for about 5 years. So where I started was, I did my research, what it takes to be with an agency, things like that. So that's a kind of basic starting point. The second thing is your portfolio, your pictures are obviously your calling card. That's your resume, and things like in a floral dress or different clothes that are really the perception is you want JCPenney or Kohl's or somebody like that to look at you, or an agent who can connect you with those clients and say, well, look at her in this picture, she looks just like the catalog, she can do that as well. You want to make sure that you're not putting out things that are too sexy, because there are those kinds of models, and if you want to be that kind of model, that's, you know, fantastic. But for the general mainstream models, you want to really not have those pictures in your portfolio because they are going to be a deterrent. So keep those for, you know, your man pictures out there. They're a great way to, you know, network and have other model friends and other clients and things like that get to see them. So that's your kind of springboard from there. And then you really, you know, you want to, in the beginning, before you have an agent and things like that, make a model mayhem profile and, you know, put a couple of those pictures up. Sometimes there are castings and things like that. If they don't respond back to you, don't send 5 follow-up emails. I know you want it, but you want to make sure that you're professional. And, you know, you want to word it in a very professional manner. You are your product. So if you were, you know, if somebody were selling a product, they would sell it in a professional manner. So you want to sell yourself as the product, because as a model, that's where our careers are very different from other people. We are our product. So you have to be protective of your image and how you look and how you present yourself, because you want to present yourself in a professional manner.
Now, she is the creator of the concept of the Fuller Woman Expo that originated in Canada in 2008. She's a Canadian director. She's Jamaican born, and she brought the concept of the expo to Toronto all by herself because she felt empowered to just change in her community. So welcome, Jamaica. And we have Marina Zellner, designer of the Queen Grace collection. Now, Queen Grace is a real person, quite regal and grand, but she's not a queen. but she is still very, very, she acts as if she is royalty because when you wear your clothes, you do feel like royalty. She's also featured in the 2011 Full Figure Fashion Week, was her debut last year. So we're like a crew grace. And she'll also be a part of our expo this year in our Curves in Motion showcase. So please welcome Marina. So I'm going to start off with Marina.
At the age of 12, I was told that I had to lose inches off my hips and my waist in order to be a model. Now, at 12 years old, I was 5'9" and I was size 12. So that's very healthy, a healthy size for my height. And being told that, and being so young and naive and just wanting to follow my dream, I went ahead and I got introduced to diet pill. I started booking tons of work. I was traveling across the world. I went to Spain, Hawaii, LA. I was all over the place, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy because I was pretty much not being true to myself. I was forced to be someone that I wasn't. Really, physically and mentally, it was destroying me. And it wasn't until I made the decision to gain my healthy curves back and to just be an advocate against eating disorders was when I got skeptical at every size, and that no one should be neglected. That it should not only be a size 0 to 4 or a size 12 and higher, it should be every size. And that the industry should be marketing to every.
You have been in contact with various different types of movements within the plus community. Can you talk a little bit about the differences between like entertainment in the plus community and activism and things like that?
And this is nothing against anybody in particular, but a lot of times I think it's just modeling and blogging. But there's much more to the plus size community, and while some people have made a name for themselves in modeling and blogging, there are other ways to get involved and to support just various causes, various initiatives, websites, retailers, designers, and things of that nature. So that getting behind these individuals who are on the front line and who are making our voices louder is a wonderful way to practice advocacy, use your voice for something positive. Being a celebrity is great in the entertainment realm. However, if your message is not loud and clear, and you're in it just for the celebrity status, it's just like anything. It will eventually fall by the wayside.
We have to stop looking at our reality stars, at our actors and actresses, and all these celebrities in the community as our idols or our voices. They are people just like us, and we have to start being our own idol in our communities and be able to reach people that we come in contact with that are inspired by just who you are. And so we're so thankful to have people like Mona. I want to go down to Georgia. Georgia, please tell us why you started.
In Canada, we're very big. Coming from the islands, I don't know if any of you have any backgrounds or anyone, you know that when you are a plus size woman or full figure woman, you're basically a goddess in there. So having grown up there and understanding that, being the size that I am, I was accepted, I was, lack of a better word, worshipped, and coming to the North American country and actually feeling as if I didn't exist, as if I was lazy, as if me being the size that I am was my fault. It hurt to the core. So basically I was on every single diet you can think of to fit into society. I was fed up, I was depressed, I didn't go anywhere, I just wanted to stay home. And one summer I decided to actually go home for vacation. And as soon as I landed, I got the feeling that I had when I was growing up. I couldn't even leave the airport without getting phone numbers. So it was empowering and I felt good. I'm like, this is the way women should feel. Not because you are bigger or because you are a size 2, you should feel less of a woman. And when I spent that 3 weeks back home, I realized that I need to have these feelings distributed to the women in the country. So I came back and I studied. I became an image consultant, catering exclusively to plus size women, and just to encourage them, teach them how to dress for their body type, how to accentuate and not feel as if you're less than anything. And out of that, the concept of the Expo came out. Because if I was feeling this way, obviously there were a lot of women out there that wanted an outlet or needed somebody to support them and tell them that, you know what, you are good, you are great, you're beautiful. So I worked hard in 2008, solicited as many vendors as I could, and my brochure was born. And out of that, I was overwhelmed with the responses that I got, the emails, the letters. It just completely brought tears to my eyes because I realized that I was not alone. And there were so many women out there trying to get to the level where they could feel accepted and not just being home. I have to admit that right now it's still a struggle because Canada is known for, our residents are known to be reserved. We're not, just out there. So for a plus size woman in Canada, she still needs the help and realizing that I really don't care what you think. This is me. You gotta have that attitude. You gotta have that attitude.
And I've experienced it all. And what I realized is that I'm not alone. I had business partners, business associates that were going through the same challenges. Looking at the market and what was available for plus-size women, because 2 years ago, we were just starting to touch the ground as far as the plus-size revolution goes. I would say 3, 4, 5 years ago, that's where the little seeds started to plant. And we as women, especially the leaders in the community, these events that you ladies are attending, and we're so grateful that you're here supporting us, they just started planting those seeds. And women started becoming more and more vocal about their feelings. And all of a sudden, of course, with the expansion of social media, the voices are heard. And the retailers and boutiques, sign-ups, they suddenly realize, wow, there is a huge chunk of market that we're missing out on. Where is this woman? Are we going to still think about the fashion and be, the fashion-centric? Is the industry accepting us or not? Oh, there is real money to be made. Here's what we offer at Queen Grace. Be beautiful today. At the size that you are today. Have the opportunity to shop for a dress when you need to go to a wedding 2 weeks before, not a year before, because you can't find anything. Okay? I have met so many wonderful women and people that post remarks, on Facebook or Twitter accounts, thanking us for what we do, and we are realizing we're changing lives. So this is how Queen Grace was born. Our mission continues to be to bring you affordable clothing, but not disposable clothing. Plus-size community, we've been ignored for so long by fashion industry. We still have a lot of learning to do about fashion, about fabrications, about quality, about tailoring, about style, about what works and doesn't work in our bodies. For years, there were fashion magazines where women can look through them and say, okay, this is great. We are not educated yet. And what I encourage you is to learn, to see what works for you, okay? There are opportunities there for you to be heard, and we want to hear you.
Did you have a struggle in trying to communicate to business owners that may not have had a plus focus? That the plus,
because we went from being a monthly magazine to a daily site. So it kind of gives us more room to talk about entertainment, lifestyle, relationships. We talk about everything. Anything that you as a woman are interested in, we cover it. But one of the great things about being a lifestyle destination is that we can reach out to like a Dove or Carol's daughter or or Nestle or something like that. We don't have to just go after plus size brands only. And when you approach me or contact me via email, my first question is, I get lots of inquiries from advertisers or media companies asking me, we have this new product, new bonus. My first reply to you is, are you either plus size focused, or are you, I want to know the cost. I want to know, do you realize the plus size focus?
television is reality shows featuring women of color that may have been seen
mainly focus on the plus size industry. And pretty much on the show, you're gonna see a little bit of everything. It's a reality show, you know, so we try to keep it as real as possible. And you're gonna see drama, you're gonna see romance, you know, you're gonna see the glamour, the glitz of the plus size community. But at the end of the day, we're trying our best to keep it as positive as possible. So there is no cat fights. You don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
I have my own little Stephanie blog. It's called It's All Relative, right? And so basically what I do is I take reality television, which we all know is very dramatic, but I try to find the positive in it. So if I see somebody going through something, on the flip side, I'll write about the positive in it. I'm not saying you have to embrace, instead of embracing the negative, I try to find a lesson. So to me, to piggyback off what she said, there's even with throwing of the drinks, there's some little lesson to be like, I don't know what the lesson is all the time, but sometimes it's always something you can pull from it. So maybe just focus on that instead of focusing on the
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Kim Cole.
Good afternoon, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Particularly in high school, and my label was going to be the fat girl. I refused to be the fat girl because I knew there was so much more than what I was on the outside. And I figured this out when I was 14, when I first went to high school. So I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make people laugh. I'm going to make people laugh and give them joy, and so they'll like me from the inside out. Nobody will ever call me the fat girl, but they're going to call me the funny girl instead. And it worked. So, I want to tell you all these stories. So, I got into show business. My very first gigs were Showtime Apollo, and then in Living Color, and I was on Living Color for 1 whole year, moving on, and then 2 years later, I landed on a little show called Living Single, the show that we know. It was a great time. I made a lot of friends, a lot of money, and I got really famous and really amazing. It wasn't even, fame was not on the list of things I really wanted. I just wanted to make people smile and make people laugh. I wanted to use what was inside of me and use my gift and share it with the world. One of the first things I realized is that we all go through it, and we all have something deep inside of us. And why don't I just focus on what's inside and not focus on Hollywood and getting another job in Hollywood, focus on being authentic and what can I do even if I am in Hollywood. After doing research, after really working on myself, I realized that my gifts to the world are love and laughter. I could be doing that if I was a toll booth, I could be doing that as a makeup artist, I could be doing that if I was, a nail, whatever, doing nails. I was spreading love and laughter in high school. Talk about the gifts. And since I'm so clever and I think I'm hot stuff, I'm gonna make it an acronym. And the acronym is gratitude, intention, forgiveness, triumphs, and self-love. Give me some of that. Gratitude, intention, forgiveness, triumphs, and self-love. Gifts. I believe that these are the principles that you need to share your spiritual to-do list. Today, I will not get angry on the freeway. Today, I will eat more vegetables. Today, I will go for a walk and experience the fresh air before the winter comes in. Today, I will ... And you get to make it up, and it's all the right thing to do. That's your list. Today, I will stand in a space of feeling good about myself. And just make it up as you go along, because that's what everybody else is doing. Those of us who say that we have it together because we're making it up as we go along. And you get to make up your own life. There's no rules, except, drive on the right side of the street. Don't litter, and be kind to one another. Other than that, you can do whatever you want to do. I love to tell people that it's not even about thinking outside the box, it's about building your own damn box. What? Then jump up out of it every once in a while. Triumphant. Be triumphant. Instead of paying attention to what you do wrong, what do you do right? Every single day, you do something amazing. Right. Why are we focusing on the thuds that do this and this and this? What's amazing about you? Like I said, stay in the good side of the room. There's a thing that I used to do. I had to break this habit of calling myself a dodo bird. If I did something wrong, if I tripped, or if I took a wrong turn, if I picked up the wrong thing, dodo bird. And something said, look up dodo bird. So here's the deal. I Googled it, because we Google everything nowadays. The dodo bird is a bird that is now extinct. It doesn't even exist anymore. There are no more dodo birds. I think they no more. So listen to the words you call yourself. You're so fat, you're so ugly, you can't stand. This is how you should be talking about yourself as if you are the bomb dignity, because you are. You are. And you know how we do that thing too, and especially women, you're like, she thinks she's so cute. I can't, she thinks she's so, yes, she does think she's cute. And you should think you cute too. Use her as an example. Start thinking you cute too. And we will admire you and love you. We'll see it. You can feel it when somebody feels good about themselves. You inspire me when you have yourself all together and fabulous. I go, ooh, she's fabulous. I want some of that. You got it in you.